All right. I think I'm live. Let's see. Let's see. I really need that like stream starting soon overlay thing for sure. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. All right. All right. What are we doing tonight? What are we doing tonight? Let's see. All right, just a generic title. I'm not even sure what I want to do tonight. Not sure. I kind of want to work on um what is it called? Assembly line. But the next thing I have to do is those webhooks, and kind of at a good spot to do that this Saturday. So I got to think of an internal universal lock. That's a thing that I need to think about. Yeah, an internal universal lock for external resources. I know it sounds dumb. I know that it sounds dumb, but that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. You can do like an external lock with the OS. But I don't want to do that because that's way too slow for a high performance database. That's just not what you want to do. To lock the file for reading, you don't want to go and hit the OS. It's going to kill it every single time. Every single time. So I want a high performance lock that protects us. If you screw with the file while we're using it, that's on you. That's on you. I can't do anything about it. I can't fix stupid. All right. Let's see. What about our database? Our cluster is down. Oh boy. I was just checking our null clouds cluster. We lost power, so those machines, I haven't touched their BIOS. That's actually one thing that we need to do. We could do that one of these days. I need to make it so that they auto boot. I've had too many things on my plate, like trying not to die was one of them. Yeah. We could just work on the website a little. Oh, what was I looking for? Nope. Nope. Oh, I said node npm. That was like, why is that not working? Too tired. That's where we got. Doesn't look super horrible. Just kind of. Just kind of. All right, we'll open the. Man, I haven't touched TypeScript in like a month now. So, yep. I played around with SvelteKit. Yeah, you can see that here. That was not great. Not great. Supposedly it's really cool. To me, the entire web is too happy with abstractions. Yeah. It's too okay with abstractions. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. No. Components is what I was. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what it looks like. Ooh, can we find? Let me see if I can't find what we were shooting for. What we're shooting for is a little different than. Actually, let me put this on the other screen. Can we put this on 4? There we go. Let's see. It's here somewhere. It's this one. Yeah. This is kind of what we're looking for the design. Minus, maybe a little less cyberpunk. Oh, well, that does not want to resize. Yeah, a little less cyberpunk military looking, which I think we nailed that. Yeah, that's pretty good. I made this component, I think. Did I make that component? I mean, that is what you're seeing here, but I'm not sure that's a component. I think that's just divvied out. Let's see if we can't figure out where we were there. What would I have called it? I don't see anything that looks like the nav bar is this thing up across here, which is going to look like this basically. I'm working on a little Null Labs logo for up there, which I think will be pretty cool. Although I probably need a Null Cloud logo to go there instead, but we'll just do Null Labs for right now. Yep. We'll close this over here, get that nice and big. All right. Let's see. So yeah, let's get on this little component here. I think I'm not entirely sure what information this is going to have. There's 2 ideas. First, if you're actually logged in, this could have some like useful metrics for you. If you're not logged in, it could be like giving some current stats or something. Actually, let's design this. This is simple and easy. These words right over here. Let's get into that. With like a call to action, a sign up. Let's do that. Okay. Let's find where that is. I guess that's in landing page. See, I did have a component for it. The side panel component. Okay. Not much. Not much. So in the landing page, I don't know if this, I'm going to call this call to action. I always think that whatever I named it is super duper clever every single time. And I always regret it every single time. We're just going to copy and paste this. Let's make a component page for this, or a module. Now, I know, should I try Tailwind again? I know that I did. I think it's here. I kind of got that. I don't know. I really sucked at Tailwind, though. But everybody was like, it's definitely the thing to do. So let me play around with that a little bit. Since nobody else is here asking to do a thing or another thing, I'm going to do a little exploring because this is what I would do if I wasn't streaming. So. All right, so we have. I use this Create T3 app. I'm not sure if I 100% love it. It's scaffold stuff out. I don't need an SQLite database, but oh well, gave me one. There are worse things. There are worse things. All right, so here's our pages. This hurts me. And you know, one of the reasons this hurts me probably more than others is that I don't know CSS well. I know it well enough, but I don't remember all of the stuff. And so like now I have to remember a pre-made class for it. Instead of min height, I have to know that it's like min h screen, which is 100% of the view height. But I did actually. What was it? Let's see. It was something like Tailwind cheat sheet. I found this. I didn't find it. Somebody sent it to me. Maybe this. Yeah. Which is actually pretty cool. If I had known this existed, this would have been a lot easier. Because you could just flip over here and be like, oh, I want a gap. And then, oh, look at all this. This is what you can use. And this is like what it actually is. So, if we're following this, let's make this call to action over here. That's kind of what we were trying to do. Call to action, and we need to make a, command bar thing. Okay. I assume this is our main screen here. Let's change something on it, just make sure. Let's see, just basics. Okay. So in here, let's inspect this page, learn the lay of the land. We need like a header because we need this stuff going across. We need the hero call to action, and then we need this side panel. So how do we want to structure that? I think what we'll do is we'll go into components. Where are components? Is there no components in this? I don't understand. So over here, where we normally do this, let's just do ls. Components are just a first level. So I guess we'll just do that the same. I don't know if that's best practice here. I thought it scaffolded all this out for us, but you know. I do need to figure out auth, but I need to figure out whether I'm hosting auth or if I'm going to integrate with somebody like Auth0. Probably leave that up to the community. We have a nav bar. We have call to action. I'm going to try to make it a little generic action text, something that could be reused in different places. And then we have our, I'm going to call this our right info bar. Am I a web dev? No. Am I doing this right? Probably not. Are you here how to learn to do this? Don't be. Save those for some back end ones. We'll do some fun back end stuff. All right. Let's see. Action text. This is the one we were gonna do. So we'll do and we'll do another file. Oh, that's right. We don't need that because it's just gonna be in here, which isn't confusing at all. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're just using the power of tailwind. Get that wind in our tail. So let's go back here. Let's go back to our index. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This excites me. So I guess if we're looking at this, we have like a big text. We have a little text, but I don't think we need that. We have some little text that's a different color and a button. So that's what I'm going to try to make. That's never saw somebody suck so much at a single thing. All right. So we need some text. I don't know why I was looking at this. All right, so here's the text align stuff. Any other text stuff? You minimize. I don't need you anymore. All right. So here's the text classes. Cool. Nice. Okay. I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, another thing that we should look at is this. This has some pre-made components. So we probably should leverage these as much as we can. They might even have one that we could just kind of copy and paste. So let's see. Let's see. What we're doing like a call to action. What would that be called over here? A modal? No, not a modal. Sorry. Call to action thingy. A text area? No, I don't think so. Artboard? No. Hero? Yeah, this is kind of what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for. This is looking good. Okay. Now, I said we were shooting for this. Do we want to do something with like email and password? I almost like this. All right, first we're going to have to install Daisy, though. I did see that. npm I Daisy UI. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking on all cylinders. That's not a saying. Indicator? Oh, I like that. I like that. I want some toast. No, I'm hungry. I don't want a message. I'm hungry. I don't want hungry. I am hungry. Okay. This is nice. This is nice. Let's go back to that hero. I think the hero is. Do they have a header? I like these footers. We can get our socials on there. We need this kind of minimalistic, something like this. Header. What is that called? Do they have something? They have a footer. Do they not have a header? Feel like that would make sense. What's a table? Oh, a table. Sorry. Duh. So no header. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I think we're just going to start with this one. This is kind of exactly what we wanted. Big text, little text, Getting started. Beautiful. We're going to copy and paste this. We want the JSX. We're just going to throw this down in our, yeah. All right. Now, do we not have to do any imports for this? I guess not. Now, this is something that I have found nice, is that this does actually tell me what it's doing. Maybe this is the way to learn CSS. I don't know. All right, let's see. Nope, definitely don't want this. Want to join the fastest growing cloud out there? Tired of feeling like your cloud cares too much about you? Join now. All right, this is why I'm not in marketing. I feel like we should be what is that called? What is that called? Optimistic. We shouldn't say hello. It should be formal. Future customer. There we go. This looks good. Really, I said action text like I was going to give us a way to change that, which maybe in the future we'll make this so that you can change it, but we're just gonna try this. We're just gonna try this. I was thinking we'd make our own component. I feel like that's the whole idea, is you build your own components. That's the whole point of doing that you can then reuse. I'm using their base hero component as a base, but like that implementation detail could change. Again, that's my current idea on it. All right. And we're going to call this action text. Action text. Yeah. Action text. Because it would be too easy to call it a hero like a normal person. Too easy. All right. So if that's our action text, we need to add it here somehow. And we kind of want it up and over here. Oh boy. Oh boy. How do we do that with how do we do that? I'm not entirely sure. Let's get this running. All right. We're just going to throw it in there. That's what we're going to do. And this would just be action text. Boom. Like that. Let's see if we see it. Let's see it. It did not refresh. There we go. That's hideous. But you know what? It didn't automatically word wrap. I feel lied to. I feel lied to because I feel like these people's line wrapped. Look at that. Did they have breaks? They didn't put any. How did theirs line wrap? Oh, I wonder if we have to constrain the size. Otherwise, it was just filling the size. Not entirely sure here, but this is garbage, and this is not. These people know what they're doing. This one doesn't. We also wanted this to be a little bit lighter gray. That was kind of our original design goal here, so we're going to try to do that too. All right. So in our action text here, we want this to be font bold. Let's see. What's pi? Oh, padding top and bottom. Okay. Can we just do like font color? Okay, font color is not one here. Okay. Cheat sheet. Text color. Text. All right. We'll do text gray 200. Text gray to 200-859-779 to get your free bathtub now. All right, text gray 200. Text gray 2. Why isn't it auto completing? Okay, well, I knew what I wanted. Let's see if that updated over here. Yeah, okay. We might want text gray 300 actually, now that I'm looking at it. Text gray 300. Okay, cool. All right. Can we do a 6XL? We're going to do a 6XL. We want this to pop. There we go. 6XL. Here we go. That is not nearly big enough. Not nearly big enough. Text size. What is it called? Okay, well, we need 7, 8, 9, maybe 12XL. We're going to 12. We're going big. Go big or go. That is not nearly what I. Do I have to hit refresh? No. I'm afraid 6XL or my nomenclature here is wrong, but I just don't know what it is. So, that doesn't help me. Yeah, see, like when I hover over these other ones, they tell me it's just not. I think 1XL is something. Well, now I've just maybe screwed it up. 5XL, maybe 1XL isn't. That would make sense that maybe 2XL is something. Yeah, 2XL is something. 5XL is something. Okay. Let's see what that looks. That's better. That has a little pop to it. What's 6XL? Six XL is just dumb. All right, we'll just go with 5XL because obviously Tailwind knows best. All right, now we got to get this line wrapping. We got to contain it. How do we do that in CSS? Do we set like a width on this sucker? And if we knew how to do that in CSS, how would we do it in? Oh, right here. It's in font instead of text. It's in font. I forgot. It goes all the way up to 9. I don't know why 6 was being dumb for us. Let's try 9. I would say go big or go home. Let's try 9. Give me an 8, as my favorite comedian would say. Give me an 8. Say 8. Yeah, these big numbers, small performers. It's like they're trying to make up for something. All right, we got to get line wrapping. This is horrid. Let's put it in a box. You know, maybe what we need to do is actually see how this is laying out. So, yeah, this is what I was worried about. This is impossible for you guys to read. Ooh, there we go. Now it's not impossible. All right. So, and I really want this to be over here. So this is this right here, and this is this, and this is the okay. So this main class here, flex min h screen, flex call, item center, justify center. I'm not sure that's what we want, but let's find out where this is in the code. I feel like it's in here. Main class, yeah, I feel like it's this right here. Now, I feel like maybe that's good for everything but this hero, because I want this hero to sit off to the side and this, but then everything else should follow under that. Hey, yes, I do use Arch. It's good to see you. And what would you like to do? I'm not a web developer, and I'm doing some web dev because, well, nobody else was on, and I'm just learning. Everybody keeps telling me I need to learn Tailwind, and I think it looks gross, but you know, I was going to say I hold back judgment, but I judge, but then I actually give it a fair shot. So I'm trying to do some Tailwind in some TypeScript, but I suck at all front end and especially at a technology I don't know. So, but we can do something else if you'd like to. I do a lot of Rust and Golang stuff. I actually just learned something brand new about Go that I never knew existed, and like I've used Go for a while. And so I was kind of shocked that I literally did not know about something. Only 2 languages for you, C and Python. My goodness, that's like the dark side of the moon and the bright side of the moon. Like it's worse than night and day. That's pretty impressive, I would have to say. I feel like yeah, very much different languages. You're bipolar. Okay, that explains it. That explains it. It's a great fit. Sorry, I just got back from being sick, but I feel much better now. Yeah, so I do a lot of Go and Rust. So I'm not nearly as bipolar. I stick to my I like Rust better than Go. Go has a larger ecosystem, so there's things that just make sense to do in Go. And Go is not a bad language. When I say that I like Rust better, I think Rust is just the better language, and yeah. Now that being said, one of the things that we are doing here is we're putting together our very own cloud on this channel. So I actually run a YouTube channel. I think the link's in the bio there, so you can go check that out. We're actually building a cloud. So I do have to build a UI, unfortunately. It's a cloud meant for learning though, not a cloud meant for profit. So yeah. You know nothing about Go. If you wrote C, if you've written C, you know Go. You can write Go, 100%. I'm gonna get you writing Go right now. Do I have anything? We'll just open a new file. Like actually, let me just. We'll just open up a Go playground. If you write C, Go is like straight up C with memory management on it. So like this is Go, and we could write another function down here. So you know you can do And yeah, I mean, obviously, oh, this is because I was just doing Rust. In Rust, if it's the last line, you don't actually have to type return. So I mean, oh, I hit save. I hit save instead of yeah. Anyways, so yeah, and I mean obviously you can also do int here as well, which this would be more valid C. Um and then you can define structs kind of almost exactly like you would in C, so you could do like type my type struct, and you know you can make it can have its few things here, you know, yeah, whatever. And then you can add implementations on this. So you could say, let's say you wanted to make a method for that type. This again, if you've written a lot of C, I feel like this should like start slapping you in the face with. It looks almost like it, except you don't manage memory. So you know your function would look something like this. Func, you know, and this would work on a pointer type, and this would work on a value. Is so again, like I feel like if if you were interested in learning either Rust or Go and you know C, 100% hit Go. It will feel like second nature. And let me send you a link. Actually, let me put a link in chat here. Obviously, you can just go in the playground there, but they actually have. Let's go learn here. Let's see, tour of Go. This is what you need to do. So this basically just takes you through each thing, and you can run it. So like, there's all of these basics like flow control, structs, slices, and maps, methods and interfaces. So you know this is what we were just talking about, and they have a little interactive thing that you can run here. So see this. This is exactly what we just wrote. Yeah. And you can run it and you can see it here. So again, not that you have to force anybody, but if you'd like to join the more superior language, let's go back to the welcome. Hello, there we go. It's very, very, very similar to its C. I mean, every single time I touch it, it makes me think about C. It just has managed memory. So what they do, which is kind of interesting, is it is actually a compiled binary. So it's not like Java where you have to have the runtime installed. So yeah, it's here. We'll just jump over here. But yeah, it's like this. So if you're writing a method, it's function. What type you're writing the method for? So this is for this struct, the method name, and the return type of the method. So yeah. And if it was just a function that wasn't on a method, so again, like, or wasn't on a struct, it would just be, you know, func name of function. This is the args here, and then the return type. So yeah, that's all it is. I mean, it's not exactly C. It just I feel like it's very, very similar. It's pretty similar. It's weird to you? Okay, maybe I was never a C programmer. I've touched C. I've messed with C. and I've read a ton of C. So to me, it feels similar. But again, I've never really had an intimate knowledge of C. I wouldn't just go start writing something in C right now. So like I could see where I'm obviously off. To me, it just makes me feel like it feels similar. I don't know. It feels more similar to C than any other language that I've written. Rust, on the other hand, is just entirely different than a lot of what you've used. Let's see. So one of the new videos that I have coming out is I'm going over technologies to actually build a database. So like I know that we all use databases, but like what what is an index in a database and how do you handle file access and those types of things. And so I've been doing that. So the thing I like to do in my videos is actually have code that goes along with it. So I don't just tell you about, how to safely read or write to a file, but we actually do an implementation. And I've been doing it in Rust because I enjoy Rust, and since I'm doing it, I might as well do it in something I enjoy. But Rust is a little bit more strange. One, they kind of are very strict about the snake case. I kind of like camel case better than snake case, but snake case is fine. You don't have to snake case, but every tool out there written for Rust to lint enforces snake case. So yeah, it's not a language spec, not like Python and their tabs or spaces or whatever, their white space. It's not a language spec, but it is pretty much in everything that you do. Types are Pascal case, but variable names are. Anyways, I just find Rust to be a lot more different than the other ones. It's similar, but it just feels off. Okay, so I get that 100% because, again, there's no memory management. So, like, you don't have an allocator. It handles it for you. In Go, again, it's compiled, but it has a runtime. But that runtime is just compiled into your application. It's a really lightweight runtime, and the garbage collector is better than the last time I used Java, but I used Java like 5 years ago, so like I couldn't tell you that Java wasn't better now, but I still hate Java because I used it 5 years ago, and I hate it. But it could be better now. I've heard that it's better. I like Camel Case. I have to say that as somebody that has trouble reading, so I've been minorly dyslexic. This is actually easier to read, but it's an extra character, which is what I don't like. It's an underscore instead of just capitalizing this one. So it's funkier to type, but it is actually easier for me to read this than other stuff. So I that's why I'm okay with it. As far as going with it, this is actually easier to read. Camel Case can get hard for me to read, but yeah. Anyways. You tried Java for a mobile app once. You're still depressed. I actually have been using my lights. That's another project that we did. Those can be controlled. We actually need to hook them into Stream. I've just started streaming, so yeah. Anyways, I wanted to make an Android app for it, so I'm using Kotlin. Because I hate Java, but I know that Kotlin's built on top of Java, so like I get it. But it's still the worst. All of it's still the worst. I hate those languages. Now I have to warn you, I do poke fun of Python every once in a while. So sorry. But C, so it's okay. We're good. I also use Python every once in a while. Yeah. I like the idea of Kotlin. I don't know. And maybe if I spent the time to actually learn it, it's fine. But I'm writing my Android app in it. I'll learn it enough. But right now I just stumble over stuff more than actually do stuff with it, so it's kind of annoying. So, anyways, people were telling me I need to learn Tailwind. So, we're building a cloud, educational purposes. The first episode on that is hopefully coming out in the next couple of months. Been working really hard on that because I've actually set everything up bare metal. So I actually have 3 servers going through all the stuff so that I can make like this is actually how you would do it. I like the hands-on stuff. I do this because this stuff is fun and interesting, and I find a lot of the content is like, hey, let me recreate Instagram in 2 hours, but they really just do front end UI stuff and they don't actually tackle the hard problems. So my goal is to create a place where we can actually tackle the hard problems like, hey, how do we make this efficient? And how do we look into stuff like that? And, or how do we scale something? Or how do we do multi-tenancy, allowing people to run their own code workplaces safely? That's so I got to make a website. I'm not a front end developer. My entire career has been back end. Recently, I have managed front end teams or teams that have front end components, and because of that, I have more experience now with it. But I'm still not anything. So the first edition of the website was just kind of standard Next.js with TypeScript and React. This, everybody kept saying that I should use this thing called Tailwind. I don't know. I think it looks garbage because it like just dumps a bunch of stuff in your HTML. But supposedly there's some great benefits to it. So I was going to try to learn it. Especially, not a lot of my viewers are American. A lot of them are European. So they join the Saturday stream a lot more. So a lot of the times I'm here by myself and I just kind of learn whatever I want to learn. You have to find it. You're also from the EU? It's super late. You should go to bed. I want you to stick around because you're fun to talk to, but shoot, dude. It's like, I don't know. I mean, obviously there's a lot of time zones, but it doesn't matter which one you're in. It's late. Saturday, I do stream in the morning. Oh, so you're like on the eastern side of it? Yeah, it's early. It's early. Shoot, dude. Um, Saturdays I stream in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So it's like 9:30. I try to be on by 9:30. I try to be on at 9, but yeah, that doesn't happen often. Um, I'm so sorry, dude. And then on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I stream the news. That's something I used to do on my YouTube channel, but my YouTube channel is now more like static videos, and I put my live streaming stuff over here. So we're seeing how that works. I stream the news for like cloud and stuff like that. So if you'd like to join those are a little bit better time. Although if you're on the eastern side of the EU, that's still going to be kind of like 10. Which meme? You should post it. I don't think I get it. Oh, okay. Never mind. I get it. Sorry. Took me just a little while. Do you have to work in the morning? And by in the morning, I mean in like 3 hours. Do you think a 3 hour nap would be better than? I don't know. Sometimes it's not worth it. All right. What was I doing? Oh, I was trying to get this over here and wrapped because that sucks. Uh. Oh yes, I am using Arch here. So I'm actually, this is one of the new things here. Previous to about 3 months ago, I was all Ubuntu. I've used Ubuntu for a long time. I like Ubuntu a lot. For the most part, I'm not a Linux developer. I develop in Linux. And Ubuntu has always just worked. A couple people in my community were like, "Oh yeah, you got to do Arch." So I've been doing Arch. I'm on the Year Arch channel, challenge, a Year of Arch challenge. So it's been going well so far. I've only broken the system twice. Yeah. Oh, you had Ubuntu like 3 months ago? Did you not like it? I have found Ubuntu to have the best worry-free desktop experience. I don't mean that it's like the best desktop experience or but like if you just wanted something that would just work, and usually I'm using it for work, not my enjoyment time. I kind of want it to just work. It always has for me. That's not everybody's experience, but it's been by far the most user friendly to just do that with. So now Arch is not bad. Their install was a little bit brutal. Not gonna lie, Arch's install not the best user experience. Oh, you're using Pop now? What, isn't Pop built on top of Ubuntu? There are so many that are built on top of Ubuntu. It's not even funny. But I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But do you like Pop? Pop OS? Oh yeah, this is the one by System 76. System 76 is also coming out with their own UI, right? So I'm on i3 right now, but they are coming out with Cosmos, right? I'm watching their well, this is gonna take me to their computers. They have like a new desktop coming out. I think it's called Cosmic or Cosmos or Cosmic. I'm kind of excited about that because I feel like i3 is really old and outdated, and I would like something that's a so you know, one of the things that I would love is for it to be a little more desktopy. Like, I don't know, maybe media keys should work out of the box, but i3 doesn't do that out of the box. And I know that you can try to like shim i3 into some other things, but that feels kind of weird to me as well. So I know Cosmic also has a tile window manager, so I'm kind of excited about it. So I'm kind of excited about it because if it brings a really awesome tiled window management with a minimalist UI, I think it could be fantastic. It's also written in Rust, which I don't know if you know, but it is the best language out there. And if you're trying to learn Rust, I do know of a YouTuber has worked very hard to make some videos on how to learn it. And the link's in the bio. You probably don't want to learn Rust, so don't check those out. I also make videos on Kubernetes. So you don't have to watch any of my videos though. I also rant in some videos, like yeah, those don't usually go so well. They get thumbs down. Hurts my feelings. All right, I was gonna try to do this. I'm gonna continue to try to learn some UI stuff. What I wanted to, unless if you'd like to dig into any of the other projects that we have going on, this Saturday I know that we're doing a webhook from GitHub into Rust. We're building assembly line. It's a new open source project that is written in Rust. Let's see. So assembly line is basically I was using an M1 MacBook. Yeah. Why? As of like 2 weeks ago, it's my wife's. I don't like it. And I would make a video on why I don't like it. But if you want to know what I've been flamed for most, is saying anything negative about Apple. I don't know that I have the gumption to do that again. Fun story. When the M1s first landed, it was just the Mac Mini, and I bought the Mac Mini, and I'm actually using the Mac Mini, which I actually love the Mac Mini because what I do, it was super cheap. I got it for like $400, the M1, and my monitor actually gets duplicated. So my monitor goes to from my Linux machine, it goes to my monitor, and it goes to my Mac Mini, and my Mac Mini streams it, and that way we can actually do network stuff here. So like if I decide to kill my networking stack or reboot my machine, I can, and the stream continues on. And so I like it. But when it first came out, I was doing a bunch of tests, performance tests, and things like that, and how it worked as a real machine for a developer. And it had a memory leak, and it had actually some major memory issues, and I called it out. Because, like, if you got 16 gigs, you could run like 2 apps before you went over your memory threshold, and you'd start using swap. And the problem with swap is it's not a replaceable drive. And the worst part was the drives are so fast, you don't even realize that you're using 32 gigs. And if you use up a lot of your storage space and you're using that swap, you'll actually kill your drive super fast. Super fast. So I actually killed my drive amazingly fast because I was running Xcode, and Xcode took more. Xcode and Docker running together took more memory than 16 gigs because it had memory problems all over the place. It took 10.5 gigs to 12.5 just to run a single Docker container. Horrifying. So I made a video with that, and people were not happy. They were like, well, you should get a Mac to do Mac things and not run Docker. And I was like, okay, I don't know. I got a Mac to try to use it. I got like more thumbs down than I got thumbs up on that video. Literally. Okay. Also, you said, have I tried installing Linux on it? Not yet, because it's actually working as is. But I wanted to do that because I said in that video, and this is probably a mistake, I would love to make a home Kubernetes cluster out of 3 of these machines. They would be the most amazing. The price to run it, like the cost per watt for the machine, you give me a rack of Mac Minis to make the null cloud out of, and I would do it. I just need them to run Linux. And there was several people that could not get over that. Why would you buy a Mac to run Linux on it? Well, because Kubernetes runs on Linux, and so does almost all the other software I would want to run in my data center. But that was a sore point for them. So no, I haven't yet. Yeah. So you got a PC and told no, you can't use it that way, right? Right. I know. I know. This is why I haven't done anything about the M1 Mac laptop. So I got it, and I got it because my wife does some graphic design, and she has been needing a new computer. And I was like, hey, how about this? We'll get you one that's a little bit better. I'll see if I can use it and like it. If I don't, you'll get one that's better. If you do, or if I do like it, I'll probably still end up giving it to you, and I'll work to earn the money to get one for myself. And so I used it for 4 months pretty much as my go-to. I made some of my videos on it, so you can actually know, because that's the screen. It's a Mac screen when I'm doing some of this stuff, and I used it pretty heavily for pretty much everything. I wrote Rust on it. Some of my database things were on it. It's a good machine. We only talk about Linux, GIMP, Krita here. That's right. That's right. We don't talk about GIMP or Krita though, because I'm not free the graphics designer. Oh, yeah. I won't tell you then what my wife uses. Um, anyways, so it's a fine machine. If you'd like the Mac experience, it's a fine machine. My biggest problem right now, and this was last I checked, which was about 6 months ago, it would effectively void the warranty if you booted it with Linux. Like, that's not that you can't do it, and not that they prevent you from doing it, but doing it is outside of the warranty. So if you buy this expensive machine and then go to do that, because you have to put your own bootloader on it, and they don't want that. So their bootloader will only boot to Mac. It won't even boot to Windows for the M1s. And so you have to flash your own bootloader, and you're not allowed to flash their firmware per warranty. So, welcome to the Apple crap show. So my little M1 Mac Mini is out of warranty. I would do it now. I've actually thought about doing it, except it works so well in the setup. And then I'm like, well, do I buy a new Mac Mini and flash the old one? Because it does work so nicely in this setup. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that right yet. But I do want to try to put Linux on it, because if I can get Linux working on it, because I saw that the M1 support was what? It was merged into the kernel 6.2, right? Or was it 6.3? It might be 6.3. It might be merged into the Linux kernel 6.3. At least some rudimentary support. And don't get me wrong, I need CPU, GPU, and network. That's all I need, because I just want to run Kubernetes clusters. But I'm not a big YouTuber that can afford to go buy one to then brick. So I know, and like, part of me is like, well, I can make a fun video about it, but I don't have enough viewers that, like, I don't really make any money on it, so like, I can't afford to just buy it and brick it for the for, like, can I do it? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I will brick it though. I'm also not aware if it's a one-way go, because then I don't think I can reflash their bootloader. So I'm not even sure if I can boot into Mac again. Not that I really want to, so that's probably not a big deal. One thing that I do like about this is I can have people on the call, and I have loopback audio. Linux doesn't really do that with the audio equipment. Have the loopback audio where I can have a call on the Mac and loop that audio in with the call with my device. So that's nice. The drivers don't exist for the Mewtwo on Linux. It works as an audio device. It just doesn't have the nice features like loopback audio and stuff like that. So this is something my community is taking on. If you're interested, this Saturday, that's what we're doing. We're starting the integration to GitHub. Basically, oh, so Intel Macs based on Intel. Um, Macs based on Intel have Boot Camp that support Windows. So the bootloader on an Intel Mac does support Windows. The M1 bootloader does not support anything but Mac right now. Now, maybe in the future they'll add support, but that's on Apple to do. And they never even supported Linux ever. Effectively, and you can flash their firmware that does it, and there's people that have done it, but that's why it's voiding their warranty. They don't have, your standard BIOS boot that everybody plugs into, like every PC that's out there. Yeah, it's dumb. This is another reason I don't like Apple computers very much. I'll just use my desktop here. It's like Unix. I think like is a very strong word. Very strong word. I think that used to be more true than it is now. I also have these. We're going to do something hopefully next week with these. Oh, comparing it to... Actually, I don't know. I might disagree with you. Hopefully we'll do something with these next week, or maybe the week after. It depends on how busy. I actually had to go to the hospital last week, so I got behind on everything that I was supposed to be getting done because I got a common cold, and then my body decided that it was time to die because I got a common cold, and that's kind of embarrassing. Literally, I got something that should be like sleep it off, and then I ended up having to go to the hospital. So that was an experience. But I got these. These are actually RISC processors. And I want to run Rust on RISC-V processors. So that's going to be fun. We're going to do that. Why do I think Windows is actually more like Unix? So I'm going to draw this. I think that's the best way I can do it. So Windows runs like this. There is literally whoops. There's I'm going to say the hardware manager. It's not really VM, but this is the thing that talks to the hardware. It's the thing that knows the hardware. It's the thing that understands the hardware. Okay. I said that enough. And then it actually runs Hyper-V here. And this is if you're on Windows Home. This is not like, a professional or Windows Server. This is all Windows. Hyper-V. It runs a hypervisor here. Now, on Windows Home, you don't have access to Hyper-V, but it is actually still running. And then it runs the Windows user space here. So Windows user space. Now, this is actually where it gets really interesting, because so far, I'm right here with you, that there is nothing like Unix here. None of this stuff. So I'm in complete agreement at this point. But where it gets interesting, with WSL2, that came out, I don't know, a year or two ago, I made a video on it. What they did is they actually run Linux in its own VM over here. And the fact is, Windows is more this here than it is these things. at this point. Now, obviously, the Windows user space is also a huge thing that has all the Windows apps and all the other things. But the core thing that makes Windows, that direct GPU access to your hard drives and stuff, all pipes through this Hyper-V hardware manager, and it's all enabled by that. This is just like the pretty user clicky thing, and I almost think that Linux in WSL3, I don't work at Microsoft, and I don't have any leaks or anything, not saying that, but I almost feel like these will, like, even recently they brought where you can have a UI on this Linux now. Here soon, I feel like Windows is gonna, especially professional Windows, is gonna be this layer here, and you're gonna pick your user space that you want, and that's should be all that they care about. I hope that, because they have really great hardware support. They work with a lot of vendors to make sure that they do have great hardware support. So this could be Unix, is all I'm saying, because it's running in a VM. It's just, yeah. Anyways, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I actually think that this way of running is kind of interesting. I found it really mind-boggling that when you run Windows, just Windows Home, you're running in a VM, which is, I think it makes sense. This manages hardware, not what users do with it. It abstracts that layer around. So I think it makes sense. Anyways. So I'm 25 plus. Yes, I'm older than 25. I don't know how that dated me. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I don't think. I'm not a huge lover of Windows. I don't hate it. I think if I had to pick it, if it was Mac or Windows, I would pick Windows because of this right here. This is actually pretty powerful in my opinion. But again, I'm saying if my options were Mac or Windows, not if it was Windows or Linux. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying. Obviously, I'm running straight on Arch here. This is just Arch, not in VM. Dude, do you make videos as well? So I do the exact same. This dual boots, and the thing is, video editing software on Linux sucks. I don't mean, like, there is DaVinci Resolve. I don't know DaVinci, and because my wife does graphic design, I have Premiere, which sucks too. But at least she knows how to use it, and she can help me when I'm like, I don't know how to edit my video. And just the tools and everything just runs better on Windows. So, oh, you used to edit a couple things back in the universe. Cool, yeah. So I pretty much use Windows. My kids use the Windows user space to play games, obviously. Although we play some on Linux, but mostly just Windows. And then I do edit my videos on Windows. There's so many more tools that work for it. There's so much more driver support. But again, obviously I would pick Linux. I'm on Linux. That's what I picked. I just prefer it. If I had to make the choice between Mac and, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Mac. Oh yeah, you hate it that much? I have some friends that hate it that much. Okay. Was your Epic account worth a lot? Seems nice. There's actually quite a few more games. Is Pop one of the ones that supports games better? I know Arch. What I'm doing right now does not. This is not a game-driven setup right now. Um, yeah, I think technically you're not wrong. Do they do Steam on Arch? I have not tried it. That's interesting that you. Then why does Steam only support Ubuntu? That seems weird, but you think this article is old? Oh wait, oh, Steam on Gentoo. That's got to be exciting. I hate Gentoo. Maybe I'll see if I can't get a game on here. I have some Steam games, I think. Now, just because you get Steam doesn't mean you can play all your Steam games, though. I mean, right? The Emperor is the best penguin. Oh, this is. I hate CSS and HTML so much. I hate the. I actually think that I hate the mindset worse because, like, I think the UI, the web, is so ingrained in this just pile more code on top of more code to make something. And you get this where it's like, it's not even HTML and CSS. It's like a merge of the two that gets pre-compiled and rendered. And like, maybe you can pump out UIs fast that look good, but where does it stop? I don't know. I don't know. Trust me. That's my problem. Um I wish I did. It feels gross to me. That's all I'm saying. Uh I hate the web. HTML is the worst. CSS is the second worst. And the problem is, they're the reasons we have all these other things are because they're actually really bad standards. HTML, CSS are just bad standards. And we need something new, but they're like, well, no browser is going to adopt something new. So we're just going to add more crap on top of these bad standards. And like that's why we have that's why we have Tailwind. That's why we have Tailwind. Anyways, if you want to join Saturday and Sundays, we don't do any Tailwind then. And actually, really, I work on generally whatever anybody wants to, on these weekdays. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stream at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is like super late for you. And we work on whatever. I work on sometimes on videos. Last Tuesday, we did the update to the null database. So we did some performance around file IDO in Rust. Today it's this. Oh, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. You can't learn JavaScript because it's legitimately horrible. So you have to learn TypeScript. But then you have to learn JavaScript after you learn TypeScript because the fact is, TypeScript is a leaky abstraction on top of JavaScript. And so it really just mutates into JavaScript in the back end. And so to write it's horrifying. It's horrifying. I'd much rather write C. Make me manage my memory. Yeah, and it doesn't even end there. Yes. Yep. Yeah, it goes on and on and on, and like the problem is because browsers are kind of set in their ways and nobody thinks that we can change the browsers. The thing is, we just layer on top. We're like, oh, well, we'll fix JavaScript by writing this meta programming language. Throw that on top. We'll fix CSS by doing these other things where we got Sass and less and yeah, it just. So, anyways, I'm learning this garbage called Tailwind. They like made their own classes, so I don't even know. So I think to do what I want to make this. I want to make this wrap, which means I gotta cut it. I think it will naturally wrap if I cut it. And so to do that, I need to like put it inside of its own div. That's what we're going to do. The word div annoys me. Like, who came up with that? No offense if it was you or anyone you know. All right, and then we got to do this. This is where the Tailwind stuff comes in. You've already dated yourself as younger, so it wasn't you. This person is older. I'm being nice. That's not what we want. Then we want a width. We want a width. I don't remember how to do that though, so we go to the cheat sheet. Let's see. Max W. Thank you for the abbreviation. We'll try this. Well, then, if my goal was to offend you, I would have started talking about Python. Maybe this would be a fun. Maybe getting it set up to play games on Arch would be a fun Saturday stream. I already have plans for this Saturday stream, but maybe we do that on a Saturday stream. Like try to pick a game that we know will work and try to get it to work. I'd like to do some of these streams like that, and then like make long form videos based off of it. Like I'm gonna do the research on stream, try to do the things, and then make my nicer videos off of it. So that would be kind of a fun one. Let's actually go over here. Oh yeah, sweet. That kind of worked. Not perfect. I didn't want that to wrap. That's dumb. But I did put it on the whole thing. So what was this is what I don't like about Tailwind is if you don't memorize these, and I guess if I used it a lot, how would I know that this was max width? Okay, so let's if it's extra small, is there a medium? Can I just guess? That's garbage. Not medium. MD, MD, MD. I'm a dum-dum. MD. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, I was going to. I could go on about Python because I feel like Python is the same bad as everything that I just talked about the web. Honestly. Not even joking. It's awesome and amazing if you want to script out something really quickly that does something that you're not worried about performance about. But if you actually try to use those things in production systems, they're horribly inefficient. And maybe my second biggest gripe with Python is that it's a fail eventually sometime in production, and I much rather fail fast. Oh, you tried OpenGL with Python? And I mean, like, it's really great to prototype something out really quickly, or if you need once a week to click a button to export something and it takes it 5 minutes and you don't care, well, it's fine. And it's great because you can do it in 3 lines of code, which is awesome. But those 3 lines of code call 6 million other lines of code in the Python JIT interpreter, and it's slow as garbage. Just slow as garbage. And again, my second biggest problem with it and why I would never use it in production is it is a fail eventually in production. Duck typing, how it handles, it doesn't have compile time errors except for white space, which is the dumbest thing. So again, those are like my problems with it. But that doesn't mean I don't think it's not useful. And actually, my kids have learned to program in Python. Yes, and if you're using it to script, it's fantastic. I think it's probably my favorite go-to scripting language. You just go to it and script something, and you can get it to work great. I just don't like using it for production systems, which some people do, and that's what terrifies me. And you'll learn this. I'm very much prescriptive with everything as a tool. Learn what the tool's good for, and you know, yeah, use what it's good for. And so I think Python has legitimate good uses, that it's one of the best tools for it. Now, I don't actually find myself doing a lot of those things. I do a lot of computing at scale. So, like, it doesn't enter into my daily activities very often. Not looking quite what I wanted it to look like. I feel like white is going to be blinding. That does seem a little... Maybe we need to brighten up the stuff under it. Make this a gray 200. I'm not a UI designer. I'm garbage at this. Oh. Dude, you need to try Rust. Not even joking. It's not like C, and it has a learning bump. It has a learning bump with Oh yeah, I'd love to hear an evil story. Go for it. While you type evil story, I'm gonna just try to get this over here somehow. Now this is wrapping everything, which is why this is in the center. Do I make this outside of this? Hmm. So I do have I have like the first of like 5 or 6 lessons. I have like the first 5 or 6 lessons on learning Rust. I'm trying to do it in a very let me pop up a link here for you. I'm trying to do it in a very hands-on. We compile code in each lesson. I'm not sure how it's going. I'd love feedback if you watch it and want to leave feedback um on the like individual things that like critique. I take critique very well because I try to learn from it. So yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes so far. Let me know. We're just getting into some of the fun stuff like the memory management, so that's in 2 more lessons. So that's the one that it's going to take me a little while to get out though, because I want to do it really well so people aren't scared. But on with your evil story. So what I think I want to do is I want to do this as a row. You just do that. Is that row now? Is this a flex row? Cool. Cool. Okay, and then what I want to do is this is flex column. Cool. And this is flex column. Cool. Oh, that is brutal. You guys are that's beyond. That's diabolical. Um, there are lines not to be crossed, and I believe lines were crossed. That is rough. Or the white space, but no actual white space. That one's also painful. Now I went to college for chemistry and math, so oh, this is starting to come together. This is starting to come together. I'm like a pro. No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's fairly good. It's those type of things that people don't understand about computers that are like aggravating and can take a long time to fix. Why does this not work? I don't know. It looks like it should work. It smells like it should work. Have no idea why it doesn't work. I was just looking at something today where where I was like, "Oh, this is going to be broken." And so I told everyone it was broken, and then everybody came back and they were like, "No, Merrick, this is actually working." And I was like, "No, it cannot be working." And they're like, it was working. We still don't know how because I finally convinced everybody that it is actually a problem. We're still not sure how it's working, but it's working, so we didn't touch it. Um, yeah. I want space. I want this to be centered. I want this over here. So how do we do that with magic? You know what? Can I just add some that adding some padding here feels wrong. I feel like we could do like justify something else. Justify what? What is it? Justify what? Can you give me some? No, you can't. You can't. You're useless. Justify. I feel like evenly is wrong because it's going to put them like offset from center where I want one to be centered. Oh, that's dumb. Also, yeah, I have a ton of experience. I don't have a ton of UI experience. So never, please never try to learn UI from me. I do a lot of educational content, but this is not one of them. I might make a video on how not to learn UI. What is this item center doing? Trying to. This is what I don't like about Tailwind. Is it obfuscates? Like I guess I can hover over it. And the line item center. Okay. But what's the other thing that it should be doing? And I guess if I used it a lot, I would just know these. I don't know what base. I don't even know what this CSS is. I'm just going to delete this. I'm just going to see what happens if I delete this. It's probably not the solution, but it felt like the thing to do at the time. No, I want some space between it. Well, thanks for joining, and thank you so much for the follow. I have to say, one thing, I've just started streaming on Chat. I don't have notifications because, honestly, there's like a webhook I have to integrate, so I got to run a server to do that, and I haven't done that yet. And so I'm gonna figure how to make integrations. But as soon as I do, thank you for the follow, and yeah, it was fun. You take care of it as well. Have fun at work. Let's inspect this. Let's see. So I can just pat it. It feels horrible because it feels like it will. Do I just put padding on the right? I feel like I want it to be more sticky to the left side than I do. Actually, I don't want this center stuff. I'm just going to delete it. I don't know why I'm worried about it. Let me delete it. Oh dear. Where does this div go to? this one. All right. Now is that one? Can I just do that? No. That is not one. Maybe it's start. Start. No. Center is right. Center here. Maybe I shouldn't be doing a flex box here. It felt right, but all right, let's see. Justify items. I'm just going to throw this on there. Seems like probably can't hurt. Didn't do anything. Huh. Maybe what we need to do. Delete that. No need for that to be on there. Well, maybe what we need to do here instead. Let's see. What was I thinking that we need to do? Tailwind, dock. Okay. Maybe we just do this. I feel like I'm just going to try this. I'm going to try this. All right, so we're just doing relative. Then we'll do this in here, class name. Let's see if that, wait. Can I not put class name on here? Wait, you can do this, right? You do this? I don't have to wrap it in another div, do I? I think I deleted the example of what I might have been able to see doing that. Oops. Oops. I feel like that should be fine. Okay. Well, do we have to just div this? This also feels dumb, but you know, I'll do what I have to. I'm sure that there's a better way to do that than what I'm doing. Okay, that kind of chopped it at its knees and didn't dock it over here. But I think I know why. Yeah, it's on the relative, so it's on the center line here. Not what I wanted. I wanted this here. But I actually think that if I just took this and dropped it above this, it would actually work. This might be a bad thing to do, but I'm not above doing a bad thing. So, that did a weird thing. That is a very weird thing. Let's see. How is this less weird? I don't get the web. All right. Well, we are pushing on 11 o'clock. Thanks everyone that joined. I still don't understand web technologies, but you know, one of these days. One of these days. Anyways, thanks for joining. I will see you guys Saturday.